What's going on? How's everybody doing?
Good, man. We shaking out here, man. We warmed up, yo. We are warmed up. Ray got us warmed up. Ray got us warmed up, bro.
Let's start the party.
Going. Cool. Well, let's just go around real quick, and everybody can introduce themselves. We'll start with Derrick.
Yeah. How you doing, guys? Derrick Aroh, VP A&R at RCA, from Brooklyn. You know, just a fan of this whole thing, fan of the culture, trying to push it forward.
Cool.
Tina Davis, Empire, San Francisco, head of A&R.
Say legendary Tina Davis. Don't just say
legendary.
I looked dead at you, Ray, because I knew you was going to say something. I appreciate that.
Legendary Tina Davis.
Thank you.
Ray.
Oh, Ray Daniels, SVP of Warner Records. I'm in here.
Woo. Who's next? Success.
My name is Success Davis, VP A&R, Atlantic Records, born and raised in Chicago.
Hey.
Based in New York now. We here.
Getting ready for that last dance.
Last dance, baby.
Tomorrow.
Tab.
What up? Tab, SVP, BMG Music Publishing. I'm also from the Bay, SF. What's up, Tina?
Right.
Oh, Lord. Young Noah.
What's good? What's good? It kicked me out for a second.
Back. We're just introducing ourselves. You're the last one.
Got you. Oh man, Noah Preston, A&R Def Jam. I don't know what else to say, man. I'll leave it at that.
And I am Eddie Blackmon, VP of A&R at AWOL Cobalt. So wanted to bring everybody back together and have a conversation and more so really take live questions, because last time we did this, we had a great response, a great turnout, and a lot of people didn't get a chance to ask questions. So we're going to be bringing a lot of people live in. So if you have a question, at the bottom of your screen, there is a raise hand button. Make sure you hit that. Make sure that your mic and camera are on, and then we will bring you in to ask one question, whether it's to one panelist or just a general one that, you know, you'll get a couple of answers, and then we'll have you go back out. So, but before we get the conversation started, right before, and we were talking about, you know, the A&Rs and what the role is and how it's transitioned over the time. So I wanted to just start it with that conversation of, you know, traditionally, obviously, there's been A&R as artist and repertoire, and now, you know, some may say it's analytics and research. And so I just want to go around and kind of get everybody's perspective on that real quick. I'm gonna start to my left with Derrick.
Yeah. I mean, the way I look at it, the analytics and research should crack me up, because that's motherfuckers be actually acting like that's how it is, for real. But, you know, I truly believe that there's a balance. Every great A&R and every great company has a very unique balance between knowing what's in the gut and then knowing what you can read the tea leaves in terms of numbers and stats. Like, some of the best artists that are hitting right now were signed with nothing, you know, without much shit going on for them, no co-sign, but you just heard really great shit. And you're like, damn, this shit is fire as fuck. You know, and there's some acts that are signed because they got everything rolling. You know, everything's rolling, you sign and you blow it up. And I think that there's a balance that every great A&R need to have, so you can understand both sides of it and don't ignore one in favor of the other, you know?
Success, what do you think?
No, I basically agree. I feel like, you know, you talk about gut versus research. I think you need balance. I think that when you're trying to develop that next superstar, it may take a year, it may take 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, we got to pay the light bill, and we got to keep people with jobs. So I think that having a research department and kind of sniffing the baggie on some of those research things that's popping on TikTok and your Trillers, I don't think it's anything wrong with that too, because, you know, you could sign 1 or 2 of those while you're developing your next career artist. So I feel like as an A&R, you should really look at both.
Thanks.
Oh, Noah, what's your perspective?
I feel a lot of the same way. I mean, research and analytics are a tool. You know, sometimes you need certain tools, sometimes you don't. You know, so like, I think sometimes it plays a role. Clearly, you know, we're all trying to make money off this. We work in an industry where this is our livelihood, you know. So I think there are times that research helps, but research isn't gonna tell you if an artist has a second hit, or gonna tell you if a lot of other things that, you know, research can get you half of the way or a quarter of the way, or maybe get you the first step or give you the lay of the land, but it's not gonna tell you any of the nuanced details that are really important when it comes to the game. So, you know, it's a tool, and it's necessary at times, but sometimes it's not at all. Yeah, that's my general feeling.
Ray?
I think, you know what? I agree. I agree. Funny, man. You funny going to be. I agree with Noah. I think I hate it because research is causing us to go in hysteria for somebody based on one thing they've done, when the reality is that this business has always been built on superstars with hit records. You know what I mean? Like, so research is not going to tell you if you got the next Chris Brown, the next Usher, the next Lil Wayne. That's not research.
Nope.
Right? Research tells us this person triggered an algorithm that did something right, and now all of a sudden, as an A&R, we have to go in there and chase this and tell them that they're doing everything right, even though now we have to figure out a way to turn them into a real artist. And it might not be there. And then there's a difference between superstars in music and just superstars because you want to watch them. I mean, you got some superstars on Instagram that can't sell 3 million records. You got people on Instagram that can get 8 million. So we gotta, as A&Rs, I think it's the hardest time ever to be an A&Rs now.
I agree.
Because it's like now we got 1,000 things, not 1,000, 20,000 things coming to us at once. And now we're trying to decipher through who's real, who's fake, who wants to be here in 5 years, who wants to be here, and who's just trying to get the quick check. It's a hard thing to do right now. So I don't really care about research personally. I really just try to focus on the person and the team and see if I can connect with them. If they want to be here, then that's cool, in my opinion.
Good. Tab.
Just piggybacking off of what y'all have been saying, I think research is lazy, A&R, to me, to be honest with you. And I think for those of us that do this, that come from a passionate place, like our legacies are built off of signing and developing and breaking artists. You know what I mean? When they say your name, they attach it to something. When I think of Noah, I think of Noah found Logic, and you know what I'm saying, Noah found Janae. Those weren't, you know, I'm saying those weren't research things. You know what I'm saying? And those are that's how you build your legacy to me. It's like, you know, when I found Frank Ocean, there was none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was gut. And to me, that's really all that matters. You know what I'm saying? So I think research, to be honest with you, I understand what it is. And I walk into certain companies and I see like a bunch of kids with laptops open and everybody's on some Spotify charts and all. To me, that's like, that's what y'all do. That's A&R. I mean, to me, I just think it's lazy A&R. Call me old school. That's it.
And last but not least, Miss Tina Davis, who who has been at a major label doing A&R, who has broken a superstar from the ground up, and now is at Empire on the independent side. I really want your perspective on this.
I think, you know, honestly, everybody is right. But if you really think about it, you know, A&R is really just having a gut, because we come, like Tab said, we come from the time where you had no research. We couldn't look at numbers and say, oh yeah, this is getting ready to do that. It was totally on your gut and your instinct and your feeling. So that's just natural, which is part of a reason why I even went into Empire, is because learning that analytic side helps you to decide your play, what you want to pay them, what makes sense, what their trajectory might be, you know, based on the research and analytics. I think it's a cheat sheet, is what it is. If there's nothing there, then you use your instinct, you figure it out and make it into something. Because at the end of the day, it is truly still about numbers.
Yep.
So when we look at numbers and metrics, like what are some of those indicators that you're looking for? Is it streams on Spotify? Is it, you know, views on YouTube? Is it Instagram interaction? Like, what are you guys looking for that?
I
Me
think it's
or who? Anybody?
Anybody, general, yeah, anybody.
I think it's a
I'm
little
not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I swear to God, this is real talk. I only listen to what someone tells me.
Hey,
If
that's real.
if it doesn't come to me from someone who I respect, I'm just gonna miss it.
No, that's real. That's real.
I'm just being honest with you. Like, I don't care about research. I don't care about numbers, because we all know right now it's like everybody is like, let's be clear. We all know the days where you had to work your ass off to get a deal.
Yeah, it's true.
You had to work your ass off to get a check. And now you got people uploading the song on Spotify or on TikTok, and now they're getting $2 million and they don't know what the fuck to do next. Let's be clear. So for me, it's like, I really just go off of, if I see my son jam into it, then that means it's really hit me. If I always remember the story L.A. Reid told me about Usher, You Remind Me. He said that they shot the video for the record that, the Pharrell record.
The Pharrell record,
and then
yeah.
And then he said he saw Aaron Reed and his sister dancing to You Remind Me. And he was like, that's the record. So to me, it's like, I just go off what hits me. If it hits me, maybe it might hit me too late. I don't care. But I'd rather it hit me from somebody I respect saying, yo, I'm fucking with this off some GP shit, than it hit me off of somebody just sending me some data shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel lame calling somebody saying, hey, guy, how you doing? I just saw some numbers popping up over here. Going good over here. How you doing, brother? I just feel lame. Like, I feel lame. Like, I feel lame calling somebody based on the number. Yeah. I'd rather call somebody because my nigga hit me and say, yo, this shit hard. And I'd rather my nigga hit that person and tell them, you need to fuck with Ray because Ray's real. Or fuck with this person. Like, to me, word of mouth still makes the biggest difference on what I'm chasing. And to me.
That's a really shit.
I do agree with that. But I do also feel, though, that you have to kind of look at the numbers, because at this point, it's just a new way of doing this. It's just a new version of A&Ring. Yeah, you don't call them and be like, hey, yeah, so your numbers are at such and such, and I just wanted to give you a call. No, you do all the research before you call them. Call somebody that might know them, look into it, you look at their engagement. To answer your question, Eddie, you look at their engagement with their fans on social media. You look at where they are number-wise, whether it's high or low, what they've done to do it, how much content they have in the market. If they have fake followers, fake whatever, if anything is fake, you look and see, find out who their team is, because that's the biggest thing. You can sign people all day, like Ray said, all day, and then they don't know what to do. Then you're left with the bag, especially in an independent situation. We're partners. We're not signing artists. We're actually signing partners. So you have to come with something at Empire. You have to, like, perfect description, D Smoke said it. If you going with an indie like Empire is like having a jet, a private jet, but you drive it, you fly it. But going with a major, you have a private jet and you just sit in the back.
Yeah.
And somebody else fly.
You know the thing about what you said, Tina, that I think is really key. It's about the conversation. And the conversation, like the numbers, the way I always look at numbers is the numbers is like the hard facts of the conversation, but that's not the conversation, So when I see something on Spotify on the viral charts that's going on, I'll say, okay, let me listen to it, right? Because I don't just, let me listen to it first. If I listen to it, I'm like, okay, one, does it hit me? And does it give me that goosebumps? That's the first thing. Second thing is then, okay, who can I see loving that artist, loving that record? Who can if they're performing a venue, 2,000 cap, 10,000 cap, who's in that motherfucker? If I can't imagine people getting to that venue and being there and want to buy the merch and buy into that artist, then it becomes a huge issue of like, is this even worth doing? Because if I think a guy's going to have this random moment, a random song, but he's never going to be able to do versions of that over and over again, or even a couple of times, then what business are we talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, so there's nothing. So the way I look at all these things, yes, I pay attention to Spotify, I pay attention to SoundCloud, pay attention to IG, all that type of stuff. But there's artists that you see that have very small on IG, but have a big song on YouTube. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's gained either way. They can have a real crazy song on YouTube because that song is just fit for that YouTube audience. But if I hear that song and I'm like, okay, these people are supposed to like this person. And they're going to like this person when it gets to Spotify or when it gets to Apple and yada, yada, yada. So that's how I look at things.
Yeah, see, the research is going to tell you where the fans live. Like, to me, that's like, it's not going to dictate my taste. I'm not going to use research to tell me like, oh, this artist is the artist that I need to sign, but it is going to tell me who I need to super serve, where I need to, it is going to tell me a lot, give me a lot of indicators. So, you know, I do think research plays a role, but I'm not gonna use it to sign somebody, but I am gonna use it to figure out where to double down or where to get to know my fans better and stuff like that. I will.
And you know, something else that factors in is that all of us know each other.
Yeah.
Right. And I want to sign something that I'm proud to say in front of y'all. I don't want to sign nothing.
Oh yeah, facts.
Like,
facts.
One of y'all, and y'all like, what you working on? And I'm like,
yeah.
I just, you know, I don't want to sign.
Real.
I want to put my name on because, like Tab said, this is our legacy,
bro.
This is the shit we sign. Like, this is our legacy. This is the shit we sign. This is the shit we believe. This is our taste level. Our taste level dictates how far we go in life.
Woo!
So
and
I just want
people talk. Artists talk. Know what I'm saying?
Like,
artists talk.
I don't want to be the guy that like, you signed that bullshit.
Like,
man,
man.
I'd rather sign the shit that everybody. I would much rather sign some shit that everybody on this panel thought was incredible and didn't go nowhere.
I agree.
That was taken off numbers wise and didn't go nowhere. Because at least y'all behind closed doors ain't laughing at me.
That's real.
I just don't want y'all laughing at me. I'd rather y'all be like, oh, right there, close the door, close the door, close the door. You know you signed that bullshit. Y'all know how we are in this game. We take pride in our shit.
That's real. Yo, I want to jump back on something what Noah said in regards to like where audiences is. Like, one of the best examples right now is a street rap on Apple Music. There's a lot of shit that doesn't go crazy on Spotify because their fans, their fans don't have the money to have both Spotify and Apple, but everybody got an iPhone, so they got the Apple shit. And you see a lot of shit going crazy on Apple. You see a lot of street shit going crazy on Apple, going crazy on YouTube. And you're like, oh shit, this is kind of fire. And then when you come into whatever company is position to do a couple things, then you see doing a little something most necessary on Spotify, see a couple things, and then bangs on Rap Caviar. Like, people forget when the Baby's album came out, the first one, it wasn't going crazy on Spotify out the gate. I remember it was #1 Apple Music. It was going nuts Apple, but it was not even on Rap Caviar yet. I remember that shit. And then eventually, One Sugar was really going boom, and it was out. So, like, to Noah's point, it's like the numbers and the platforms help to just understand where things are. And then you have to have the vision, because at the end of the day, with numbers with no vision means a dead end. You have to have the vision of like, this is how we're going to get it over here. That's the most important thing in this shit, to be honest with you.
Yeah, or I'll say don't sign nothing. I will never sign nothing about a thing I can help it.
Woo!
Some shit I'm not going to.
100%.
Don't think if I don't think that I can contribute something to it,
don't matter.
Man,
don't matter.
That's so real, because honestly, if I sign you and I can't contribute to it, or I can't get nothing out of me, I can't come up with an idea. If it's not right, I can't help you at all. You'll say I'm the worst person in the business because I just can't come up with nothing for you because you're just not it.
You're just not it.
Like, I don't want to sign something and it turn into a pumpkin.
Yeah. And it's shit that I passed on that blue. It's shit that I passed on that blew up. Like, one thing particular, and I'm still at this day. Me and Tab talk about it, and I'm still like, yo, bruh, I still can't help it. Even now,
I can't help it. No, that's real.
I'm still like, I don't know what to do with it. If it was mine today, I would still be like, I didn't do anything, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know I just got. I don't know what to do.
That's real.
I just wouldn't do it. If I can't help it, I wouldn't touch it.
That's real. That honestly, to be honest with you, is #1 in A&R. If you can't fuck with it, let somebody else fuck with it.
Well,
yeah.
Hope he's on the home team though.
Right. Transitioning to help
let me get a feature.
Exactly. Let me get a feature. Exactly.
Transitioning to helping people. There's a lot of people who have put their hands up to ask some questions. So we're gonna go over here, and the first person I'm gonna bring in is Elliot McKenzie.
Hey. Don't be shy, Elliot.
Elliot. You're already breaking the rules. You're on.
Elliot, if my camera's on, yours got to be on. I'm trying to tell you.
Woo!
And I always say this. This is your panel, Eddie. I respect it, but I always got one request to anybody asking questions. Don't ask some shit you can ask on Google. Don't ask no shit you can ask Siri.
No, that's right.
Elliot, what is it?
Elliot?
There we go. I had to unmute and all that shit. All right. So my question is age limit. Is there an age limit to signing an artist, giving an artist an opportunity? Because I myself I'm a songwriter and an artist, but I'm older. I'm in my mid 30s. And one of the things that's been in the back of my mind is I've got the talent, I've got what it takes, but I'm older. And I've noticed, especially lately in the last like 5 years or so, the majority of artists that are really successful are like teenagers. So should artists in my shoes who are a little bit older, who are still trying to make that dream come true, should they worry about their age? Because I've got the talent, I've got everything it takes, but I'm just like, damn, I'm kind of old. And that's been sitting in the back of my mind. So what do you guys think about that?
Hey, Tab, as a songwriter.
That's a great question he just dropped on us.
Oh, yeah. And
Hey.
Really quick, to jump into that one, I think there's an artist right now that Eddie, you helped break, and that I just signed to the publishing side, in Snow Allegra, who's over 30. And, you know, she built it herself. She kind of did it. And I think what's dope about what she's doing is that I love having conversations with an adult. You know what I'm saying? Because she approaches this game from an adult perspective. And to me, it's like, it ain't really about, you know, I don't want to worry about court approvals and that shit no more. Like, if you have real talent, you got real talent. And I'm rocking with you. And I don't think there is an age limit, to be honest with you. It's like, yo, you could be 30 plus and you could do your thing.
Yeah.
I will say this though. I gotta say something. If you're in the 30s and you ain't been discovered by now, some shit wrong. Either you not grinding right or the talent ain't there. It's one or the other.
I also want to say you gotta
let Tina go. I just want to say that, Kyle. I want me to let Tina go. She's the leader.
What's up, Tina?
I'm not the leader. And he's the leader here.
You are the leader.
I think when you're over a certain age, I'm not going to say what age that is because it is what it is. But after a certain point, you have to manage your own expectations of what's happening. And I think that's part of what Ray is saying. You know, it's like if you're at 35 and you're just starting for the first time to write a record and put a record out, then you have to give yourself time. And hopefully you will come across that big record that's huge and ends up popping off, and because you can put it on DSPs yourself. So if it works, it works. Nobody's gonna care how old you are if you have 4 or 5 of those in the chamber.
Yeah. I've got 6 singles out now. I'm working on my album, but part of the reason why my age is a factor is because I spent. Guys, look over here. I spent 8 years doing that. I was in the military.
Salute you, brother.
Thank you.
Salute you, brother. Salute you, brother.
That's part of the great story.
Now I feel bad.
I served in the Iraq War, so I really didn't start getting my craft going until after I got out, which was about 5-6 years ago was when I really started focusing on music and doing that. And so that's why I'm kind of like where I'm at now with the age, because I spent 8 years in the military. So, and I wasn't doing anything musical when I was doing that, and that's when I was in my 20s. So,
Can I give you some advice? Can I give you some advice?
Yeah.
Find you a 14-year-old kid, write songs for him, build him up. No, I'm dead. What's the fucking?
He real. You gotta figure out where to pour that energy somewhere. You can't pour it over the one person and being an artist.
I'm trying to show. He didn't say he wanted to be an artist. He said he wanted to get in the game. I thought. Am I tripping?
No, he wants to be an artist, but you can do both.
So,
but you can do both.
You know what your plan is.
I would like to be a writer, honestly, because I know writing is where a lot of the good stuff.
I thought you said that. I thought you said writer also. So what I'm saying is, find a 14-year-old, 15-year-old kid, write songs for him, with her, and boom. Now you're 14 years old and you're 14 again, and now you got a chance. I'm trying to tell you seriously, Like the best part about being behind the scenes is that we forever are young based on the talent around us.
Facts.
That's true. And if you want to put music out on your own, put it out.
Yeah, because you never know.
You never, but just do it. Not with the expectation. Not with the expectation that, oh, okay, I'm getting ready to blow up and be a star. Just do it because you love it. It's a passion.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've had really positive feedback so far. Like I said, I've got 6 singles that are out now. I have a fan base. It's not huge, but what I have put out, everybody's loved it. And I've got a music video that's viral in the military and the veteran community because it was a song about being a combat veteran with PTSD. And I'm transitioning more into like traditional R&B because that's what I am. I'm an R&B artist. And so the music's doing well. And then, like I said, I've got the 6 singles out now, and then I'm doing my album. I'm using this quarantine to get my album done, and that'll be out later this year.
Hey.
Look, Elliot.
There you go.
Well, brother.
Appreciate your time. Appreciate your service, Elliot. Hope you got some good feedback, and we'll go to the next person, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
All right, let's see who's next. Let's go with Melissa McAllister. Melissa doesn't have her oh, there she is.
There we go. Hi.
Came in.
Melissa.
Right in.
Hey. So I'm from Canada. I manage artists and I license music for TV and film. So my question is, over the past like 2 weeks, I feel like access to A&Rs is just more easy than it has been before. We're seeing a lot of A&Rs on IG Live doing different showcases, and we have a lot of independent artists that are now trying to say reach out to you guys without showcases happening, concerts, you know, lunch meetings. What is the best way for independent artists to reach out to you guys via email, kind of via Zoom, to kind of start those conversations?
I look on IG. I mean, I'm on IG. When people hit me up on IG, you know, at least I take a quick pic. Like, I don't obviously look through every last little thing, but you know, whenever people either tweet at me or send something in my DMs, I always keep an eye open just to see what, you know, just to check it out. Cause you could look on the page and you could see, oh, this some bullshit. Or you could look at some page and like, oh, okay, let me at least peep a song or see who they know, whatever. Because, you know, it's kind of like what everyone was saying before. Like, you know, there's artists that are like diamonds in the rough where you're like, oh my God, like, I've never heard this guy. Who the fuck is this? And nobody knows him. And there's people that has a little bit of a trace here, a little bit of a trace here. So I think now's the time when people want to send shit out and be active. You know, I'm always paying attention on all those platforms.
Cool.
I could say that, you know, one thing about us, I'm fortunate to be able to have a team of about 23 people across the world. So if you get to one of them, you get into all of us. Some of them are on Instagram and pay attention to everything that's posted. Some of them look at, you know, just look for someone to reach out through an attorney or through some type of solicitation from someone they know, like Ray said, somebody he knows if it's a manager. But the best way to do it is truly to start putting music out and doing some kind of marketing and investment in yourself.
Facts.
And tagging us. You know, I'm not saying tag every single video, because after a while we'll be like, okay. I'm gonna be honest. Like, if you get on my Instagram page and start liking every single picture and it's like 50 of you and then you put your video up, I'm annoyed. I'm not kind of like dating. I'm like, okay.
And then it's something that they all should consider. I think that everybody on this panel understands how much work it goes to get from 0 to 100. So we might love you at 3. We might love you at 3, but we might be like, I don't have another 97 to give you right now.
Wow,
just being honest.
That's real.
Like, I might not have a 9. I might need you to get because I have people hit me all the time like, oh, you sleeping on me? I'm not sleeping. I just need you to get the 35, bro.
You know what? That's so real. That's so real because you never know. Everybody's in a different place.
And Tina, you know how it is, Tina. And then we managers also. So when you have the manager, you was like, I got to separate the manager from the A&R. So it's like, bro, I can't stop what I'm doing to get you from 3 to 35. Like, I just know how hard it is. So it's almost like you got to show us that you're worthy of us getting you from 40 to 100. If you can't get to 0 to 40 on your fucking own, then at that point, you sleeping on your goddamn self.
Yo, catch up on top of that, because also people have this misconception. People have this misconception that, oh, if I go to a label, I'm good, I'm turned up. Like, listen, if you're in that zone where you're not from 0 to 40, there ain't shit that the label could do for you that you can't do for yourself.
Bro,
you're not leveraging the type of deal that's really gonna get you anywhere anyways. Like, I don't like no one wants to give that artist that's a 3 or 5 a deal, because I can't even go in and get the deal that really is gonna put me in a position to help you. You know what I mean? So a lot of times I'm telling the artists like, go. What's good?
Or Noah, let's double down. Let's say they are at 3. And you like them. Now the lawyer's calling me at Warner saying Def Jam's won them. Instead of you paying $300,000 for it because it's at 3, now I'm like, oh, let me check it out now, and now all of a sudden it's at $1.5 million for an artist who's at 3, and there's still 97 to put in.
Bro,
that's fact.
It is bullshit.
Some real talk.
Yo, hold on.
It's getting
that is literally, if you want to put the streaming era in quotations, that's that right there.
If I say I like something, I like it. Oh shit, I'm calling 4 more people. Tina, Ray likes it at Warner. Oh shit, he likes it. Send it to me now. Now Tina and Ray like it. Eddie, what you? And now all of a sudden it's a bidding war for a motherfucker that didn't do nothing.
That's why I don't listen.
And now,
like, let Ray have it.
Let Ray have it.
I got it.
You on that shit?
No. Right.
Oh my God! Now
I love Tab. He's good people.
Now I got it.
He's good people. Yo, Ray, take care of you.
Now the artists think that they're the shit now, so now they're looking at me like, I just got a $2 million deal. I'm worth every, and I'm like, now you got to go perform in front of 5 people. Because nobody knows. And now they're mad
$2 million.
And now they're mad at me.
They'll be mad. They would be mad if A&R people start calling each other like, yo, they just called me and said that they got $2 million from you. I'm not giving them $2 million. Why you giving them $2 million? You know they're not worth $2 million. We should all agree down to $100,000.
The game would be fucked up. If we did that, the game would be fucked up.
It would be over.
It'll be over. And sometimes, I'm not going to lie to you, sometimes because I know I've done deals with enough people to know, hold on, who offers you what?
You mean yo,
you're a motherfucking liar. Who you said you met with? Who at Interscope?
Yo.
They told you they gonna give you what? You a fucking liar. Get off my. All right, cool.
I even do on the reverse. I do on the reverse.
Know.
If I hear somebody, if I see something that's at 3 and someone gave that check to, I'm like, oh, you get it from them? Oh, they must need it. All right, you should go with them. They might.
Good question.
A&R is in the hardest position in the world right now. I actually feel bad for us. No bullshit. I feel bad for us. No lie. Like we need our own coalition to protect us.
Whole different conversation.
Seriously, it is fucked up for us, bro. It's so hard.
Start an A&R union. Go ahead.
We need one. It's fucked up out here. We literally are paying for nothing. This is the only business where you can make up some shit and all of a sudden you're a millionaire.
Thanks. It's
true. Melissa, I hope you got your question answered somewhere in all of that. But thank you very much. We're gonna move on to the next person.
Dope. Thanks.
Damn, I was a little quick with that. My bad. Next. Alex Alvarado.
Hey. That's funny as fuck.
I know. We need a coalition. We need to protect ourselves. We fucked up out here, y'all. We fucked up.
Alex, what's good? Can't see you.
We really should start.
Are we good?
Hey, what up, Alex?
What's up, Alex?
All right, what's good? Thank you guys for hosting this. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So I got a question because I'm a music business student from Chicago. I'm studying music business. I'm trying to get
Success is going to answer this question.
I was in the process of applying for internships at record labels for summer internships. Also been talking about doing college marketing rep positions. I've been interviewing with Sony right now for that. But I don't know what's going to happen right now with this whole epidemic and how to proceed. What I've been getting from individuals is just to like go back to my communities or go back to where I am right now and get involved and like try to start something. And I've been doing that, but I just wanted to hear opinions from you guys about what I could be doing more to kind of get more experience under my belt.
What what is it that you want to do?
So I want to work with the artists. A&R is something I'm interested in, but I also really like marketing. So coming up with marketing plans and figuring out how to promote their music and the placement and stuff like whatnot.
Right.
I'm still trying to figure it out though, because I'm young. I'm not trying to date myself, but I'm still young and I have a couple more years of college left. So, yeah.
Well, I just feel like right now in the quarantine, like somebody said earlier, a lot of the A&Rs are active. We kind of out here because this is the new A&R for as far as we know. We got to be present because we're not in the offices. We're not really in the studios like that. So we kind of like got to keep it going by hopping on live and seeing what's out here and connecting with producers and songwriters. And I feel like if you're eventually trying to be an A&R, the best way is just to kind of, get with artists, find some talent, and either see that talent all the way through, or, a lot of people go to internship route, but I know for like Atlantic, we canceled our whole summer interns because of this virus. So it's like, you got to kind of stay active, learn the business. There's a lot of stuff going on online that you could get into. You in a market like Chicago. Chicago got a lot of dope talent coming up right now. So just align yourself with something dope and kind of just, break an artist. Management is a good way to start. You learn the business being a manager. You learn all aspects of the business being a manager. And I feel like once you do that, you'll figure out exactly what you want to do on the business side. Because marketing and A&R are two totally different things. But if you're a manager, you kind of learn both. You have to do both. So I feel like, start somewhere. And I feel like find an artist and kind of get going that way.
Yeah, Alex, really quick. There's a dope company in Chicago called Elevator. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Elevator. There's a dude named Jason that runs that company, and he's dope, man. He's always forward thinking. You should reach out to him on Instagram. It's called The Elevator.
Lyrical Lemonade is also in Chicago. It's a lot of cool stuff happening in Chicago. So
yeah, bro,
it's a great place to get started in the business.
I'm thinking a great area, man. And then to be honest, like your youth isn't a disadvantage. Like we all a little older, we all got a little more experience, but you have your youth, you have some, man. So I would just use that time valuably. Get your feet where really you got to get. You don't know what you want to do. When I thought I knew what I wanted to do when I was 22. When I was an intern in Def Jam, I started interning in radio promo, and I'm an AR now. So it's like you're not gonna know what you want to do until you try and you fail a few times, and you get use your youth and get them failures out of the way before you turn 25. Because if you sit there and stay in your head and try to calculate stuff and look for the perfect artist, it's never gonna happen. But you throw yourself into the fire, and the younger you do it, the quicker you do it, the more experience you're gonna learn. And you're gonna be ahead of everyone else your age. So you use your time to your advantage.
I've actually been managing a couple artists already. A couple years back, I did NYU's What Makes a Star program, and so I went and actually Derrick was on one of the panels that I was on.
Shit! In December?
It was
December 2018.
Yeah, it was 2018. Yeah. You were on the panel and we got to talk a little bit. So I've been doing a lot of that stuff. I came back. I already started like one of the artists I manage has a song called On My Way. They dropped it and we put a little TikTok promotion behind it. We got a challenge going on for the last week. We gained a lot of engagement. So I've been doing a lot of stuff. It's really good to hear that, like, just to keep getting my feet wet and keep working. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Yo, what's your IG, bro?
Alex Alvarado. So it's basically my name except the O at the end. Should I put it in the chat or?
Yeah, put it in the chat. We'll make sure Derrick gets to it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Alex. Thanks, man. Hope you got some good feedback.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Up next, where did I see this name at? Will Wildfire.
You about to say some shit with a name like that.
You better.
Be an artist. About to start singing for y'all.
Will, you're up. What's good?
Oh shit.
Oh, Will. Don't embarrass me, Will.
He's here. I see him. He here.
I got it. Can y'all hear me? There we go.
You got to pop that video on. There you go, Will. What's up? What's up,
How y'all
Playboy?
doing? What's going on, Mr. Eddie? How you?
What's
Good to
good?
see you guys, man. Yeah, I'm Will Wildfire. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer, and stuff. So I'm from North Carolina. I do all my own mixing and mastering, production and stuff. And my question was, I moved to LA. I'm out here now. It's kind of crazy. I've only been out here like 3 months. And as soon as we got here, you know, Armageddon happened. But I guess my question for everybody, in North Carolina, right, like it's only a certain amount of people that's on a level of quality. So the reason I learned how to do everything was just to compete in the industry. You know, I needed to take it to another level back there. And it's a kind of a cap. So I came out here, and what I'm noticing is a lot of people, they kind of work more together with everybody. They're all on that same level. So I guess my question is, basically, since I'm getting out here, working, we just released a song called Fruit Trees and getting everything to the next level. Should I continue to like network and stuff out here and kind of like build it out that way, or just kind of more, you know, stay homegrown, focused in on everything, all that I got going? I'm trying to, you know, figure out how to maneuver it, because, you know, you put me in a room, lock me in my room by myself, I'm gonna keep making hits, but I've noticed the power in just like leaning and networking. So I don't know which way is better, which one should I focus more on, or, you know, how to do that is pretty much what I'm asking.
I think you gotta do all, man. I don't like, I think, you know, sometimes a lot of people look at this one way to break into the business, and I think now more than ever, that's completely false. Like Lil Nas X was a tweet decker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And he was amazing on social media, and he was able to get his song popping by himself, you know? And I think the networking is important. That's very, very, very important. It's always good to know artists and have a community that supports you, have people that fucks with you and they can talk about you. But at the same time, it's, you know, it still comes down to the music, you know, like if you could be, we know artists, we all know artists who are the best networkers in the motherfucking world, and they'll never get nowhere because their songs suck. It's that simple. They don't got no records that would ever do anything. They don't got nothing that make anybody ever feel a certain thing at all. So I think the most important thing is, yes, it comes down to the music, but you got to do everything. You should, right now, the best thing about the quarantine is that we don't got nowhere to go. We ain't in the clubs, we're not at the parties, we're not at the functions, so we are home with our thoughts. And with our thoughts, we can sit down and think and say, what can I do today that I didn't do yesterday that'll get me to where I want to be tomorrow? And you have to use your imagination creatively to figure out what can I do every step of the day so I can figure out to get to my goal.
Cool. I appreciate that, man. Can I pick real quick? I want to say, Mr. Ray, we met you a long, long time ago, man. I'm a fan of everybody here. Like, I study the game and everything, but we met you a while ago. I think back in Atlanta, we played you some records or whatever. It didn't work out, but I just want to say, you know, thanks for y'all putting this panel on. Miss Eddie, thanks for, like, having me on and talking. Of course, Miss Tina, I don't want to name drop, but, like, I'm kind of a fan. I'm nervous, so y'all might just want to X me out real quick. So it's good to see y'all, man. I keep this going. Like, we need stuff like this for real.
So,
I will. Be easy,
right,
baby.
Take care.
Good kid.
It's more tame than I thought.
That Fruit Trees song you got is fire, though.
Oh, shit.
Stephanie Shaw.
Ray, you slept on him.
I want to ask him what I said to him, because I probably said some shit.
Stephanie, we see you. No, I mean, not literally see you, but we see your name, but not you. You're up.
Okay. Can you hear me?
We hear, but we don't see you. We gotta see.
Gotta see you.
I don't know. The video is not working for some reason.
Uh-oh.
Oh, start.
Uh-oh. Whoa.
It's unable to detect.
We live in a world where you can't sneeze no more. I'm
Right. Whoa. I feel like I need to reach.
I didn't want to say that. All right, Stephanie, we'll give you a pass on the video.
Everybody face that. Yo.
Oh shit.
Stephanie, we'll give you a pass on your video, but go ahead and ask your question, sweetheart.
Okay, so my question is this. You mentioned for instance, if you have a brand that has already pretty much done that between that 30 to 40 area that you were speaking about, you know, they have the radio behind them, they've done shows, they've got that digital work, you know, they've been to the BET radio room. Right now we feel like at this point, the brand that I'm calling on behalf of, we need you guys, we need an A&R. And so we want to know how we can get a meeting with an A&R who can really identify with what we've done.
That's Ray.
That's Ray.
Yeah,
That's Ray.
That's Ray.
We got
That's Ray.
we can produce a resume of a lot of things.
So
This is where it gets a little tricky, right? You can't define what 30 and 40 is. You can't define that we've got 30 or 40. We have to define that. And if you've built it and they haven't come yet, that means you have to like the best part about this shit is that if we all have figured this out, because everybody on this panel has failed, right? We all have failed. Like, we all have learned more from our failures than we have our wins, right?
Sure.
If you put some shit out and it didn't work, you have to then try to figure out how to put something out better and then come back. So I see a lot of people that's like, I've been doing this shit for 5 fucking years and I ain't got nowhere. And it's like, bro, you tripping. It should only really take, no, real talk, it should only take about 6 months to a year to figure this shit out in this new climate where you can put a song out. It's like you could put a song out. If the shit don't work, delete that song, put another song out.
Delete.
Come back at somebody else. You can literally.
It honestly scares me when I hear that you done done BET radio, or you done this, and you done that. That all that makes me feel is
you done wasted money.
It might not.
You don't waste money.
Exactly. So you know you don't want to blow your
I just want to tell you one thing about the research guys that we have will find you if you have 12,000 views on YouTube.
Absolutely.
That's real shit.
They said that shit when it's 11,000 views on YouTube in the last 4 hours. We need to go get this shit now, guys. That's the type of shit. That's the type of research guys we have.
The department is on it. Exactly.
It doesn't. When I tell you, if you've been doing this shit for 12, 18 months and nobody called, you're doing it wrong, people.
It may also mean that you have to keep putting stuff out, Stephanie. You have to keep putting stuff out. I wouldn't suggest you delete anything. Just keep putting stuff out and keep working on it. If it ain't the right one, you might need to reconsider the artist. You might need to reconsider the writer. You might need to reconsider the music. Yep. And if that don't work, you might want to reconsider.
Can I share? I want to share a story that's not my story. It is actually a story of somebody on here. Tab, you can tell the story.
Hey Ray, this is here in Cootie. How y'all doing today, right?
Uh-oh.
How y'all doing? Everybody okay?
Yes, how are you?
This is Stephanie's my partner, right? See, okay, and the reality is this here, right? Now, and let's nobody get intimidated by nobody, right? We have been consistent. We've had program directors, radio DJs from all over the country are my friends. They stay at my house, we party. We've dominated our area, our culture, you know, and a lot of people identify with us. We've had meetings with Interscope. We got a meeting coming up now with some people, I'm not going to say their names, you know, but major individuals. So I understand that this is a relationship game. Oh, you know, over the years, I used to be an artist myself. Then I started my own label. I realized this year, if you don't have the right relationships, really, I'm talking about true relationships, people that can really be a reference from you. A lot of the stuff that y'all come up here and say, a lot of it is real, but a lot of it is, to me, and keeping it real, I'm gonna just be honest, it's not real to a degree, because you can be consistent. You can be, and hell, my art is one of the dopest artists I feel like, and I think y'all will agree. Y'all identify with
how big a room
still doesn't even work sometimes.
How big a room? How big rooms they sell out? What rooms do they sell out?
I'm not. We sold out nothing, but we've done LA live. We've done, you know, I'm out on the West Coast now. I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina, Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. You know, we've done.
I'm just saying,
show. He dominated.
You're telling a story
that he's dominated.
I want to jump in and say something. I just got to say something. If I'm being honest with you, the PD conversation is 12 years too late in the new business we're in. And the new business we in, I don't think nobody on this phone nobody in the label has signed anything based on a PD fucking with a song in the last 5 or 7 years. Am I right or wrong?
I'm not just talking about PD though. I'm just talking about a body of work. No.
But what I'm speaking about is what you're speaking about is you're speaking to me about the work you put in. So what I'm speaking about is there's a certain jargon that we speak about when we speak to each other. So when somebody come and tell me the work they put in, they start laying down their facts. They start saying stuff like, I got the numbers, I got this. So when they start laying it down, I'm listening. So when I'm hearing DJs, PDs, that's a game that hasn't really been. So we
got the digital. I'm just speaking about relationships, you know, because we do.
No. And when I'm telling you this, brother, is I'm telling you is that we are talking to people who don't know anything about the business now. We're chasing them in the new business.
Okay.
It's not about relationships anymore. It's literally based on. That's why we're doing panels like this. We are all 7 African Americans who are tired of chasing numbers and want to chase real shit.
Yes, sir.
So we're really talking about the culture because we care about it. You know what I'm trying to, so we're you. We're actually you. We're you right now.
I'm downtown LA. I have the beat.
He said we are you.
Every year.
I'm saying we are you.
We are you. Yeah.
We got some shit going on too. We all got PDs that we want to fuck with our artists. I think everybody between us probably got 40 artists we trying to break on top of the shit that we already got breaking right now. We all are the same, all trying to get our shit off. Nobody is trying not to get none off the ground. What I'm saying to you is that when you start speaking to me and laying down your facts and you say PD, I got to remind you, and I got to say that that's 10 years too late. That's what I'm saying to you.
Well, can I jump in? And I think this is what we were saying earlier. I think, like, in regards to the game, if you're not at a point where niggas is calling, then you're not at a point that you even want to be with them anyway. Because, like I said, even if you end up at a label, if you get up at a label on some shit like, some random shit, they're not gonna do you right. We see it all the time when motherfuckers motherfuckers get signed, they have no business being signed, and they get dropped. They never do anything with it. So it's like,
I want to tell them how it is to be in the music business. Let me paint the picture of how it is to be in the music business. Okay, it's like let's go back to fucking when we was all in elementary school, and there was like pick your team, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a whole bunch of people standing in the middle of the park, and all the labels are picking people. I got him. Some of us are fighting for some people. If nobody's picking you, that means that they don't want you. That doesn't mean they don't see you. They seen you. They seen you, and they just want you.
Can't pick you.
The smart one have to say to themselves, oh shit, they don't want me. Let me go back and get better. So next time when they're picking tomorrow, they're going to see me. And that's really what this game is about. It's about being
Can I say one more thing?
Absolutely.
Can I say one more thing?
Absolutely.
But a lot of that is based on, to me, who you are. You know, like Suge Knight, people like that don't make it bad for people, right? So they're intimidated by some people. I could be the nicest guy in the world. But perception of me, like, no, I'm not fucking with that nigga. You know, and you don't even know me yet. And then when you meet me, he's a good guy. He's not a Suge Knight. You know, so
let me give you another analogy. Here's another analogy. Hold on. I got another great analogy for you.
I'm gonna give you another one. I'm on a team. Everything in the world, right? And then they're gonna do exactly what you're doing right now. They're gonna come up with something different. You know?
No. It's the same analogy. It's the same analogy. I'm gonna give you the same analogy.
Look, okay, I'm gonna give you an analogy. Okay, I'm gonna give you another one. I'm at Interscope, right? So executive at Interscope, he sees some of the things that I've done, right? And I've been in the game a long time. So I know ain't nobody in North Carolina doing these things that I'm doing. You know, far as, you know, with the music on the radio stations throughout everywhere. You feeling me? And you know, so then he tells me, oh, that ain't enough. Oh, this ain't enough. So I asked him, I say, can you find me somebody else that's doing this much independently without a label pushing him, without nobody behind him, when he's doing this himself for his artists?
Bro,
I mean, he couldn't answer that.
it sounds like you're a great promo guy, man. It sounds like you're a great promo guy, and you're doing a good job getting him in front of people. But it don't sound like they got it, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's some real shit.
You know, they well, listen, do me one favor. Let me get all y'all information, and I'm gonna send the music to y'all if that's possible. This went on.
Okay.
We'll and that's all I want. That's all I want to do. And if I can fly you to me, I'll fly you to me.
There's no flying right now in this environment. We can't.
Yeah, not right now. Not right now. We know that. But I'm saying, let's build a relationship.
No, we want to build, but I just want to tell you, some people in the business are not in the business anymore because when they don't get past the ball, they start wanting to beat your ass, and you know, people don't really want to get their ass whipped because they didn't throw you the ball.
I'm not one of those guys, though.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying when you said Suge Knight, you said Suge Knight name. So when you start talking about the gangsters, you sound like a big guy. And you know, you don't really want to piss a big guy off, but like Noah said, like some of these PDs may be playing your shit because they're scared of you. And you want to have the right.
But you don't get to know me.
You have the right, you know, in the label, you might be like,
I protect guys like y'all. I protect you. I'm not the bully guy. I protect the guys that needs assistance. You know, I'm not the bully. I'm not the aggressor. I'm not the person that's trying to hurt you. I'm the person that's trying to negotiate with you and figure it out, man, and help you. And I'm spiritual first, you know, meaning I understand that we won. I understand where we derive from, and we all moving as one unit, man.
Let's go, man. Stay safe, bro.
We appreciate it
for each other, bro. Good luck, man.
Grinding it out, bro.
Eddie, before you go to the next person, can we just get a breather real quick for that one? Whoa, I think the key word, when my man said I'm consistent, he was consistent. That's the problem. You consistent.
Hey, when it's time to go outside, all of us are going to meet him face to face when it's time to go outside.
Absolutely.
I promise y'all. All of us are going to meet him when it's time to go outside. He going to come to all of us. You remember me? Nah, man.
We got to go to the next person.
Oh, shit. What the fuck? Yo, Noah, your face throughout that whole shit, bro.
We're gonna go to Noah Brox. Noah Brox.
Oh, shit, that was funny. That's crazy.
Hey, Tina, this is why we need a coalition. This is the type of shit we deal with. It's somebody waiting outside for us saying, "You won't talk to me, motherfucker."
Listen.
Hey,
I'm gonna hear me.
Hold on.
Hello, everyone. How you guys doing?
What's up?
What's up, Noah? How are you?
Thank you guys seriously for. I'm gonna try to bring this back to planet Earth. Thank you all for seriously
Noah's gonna answer your question, Noah.
It's actually funny you said that because I have so many questions, but more than the reason of just having my first name also being Noah, I grew up a humongous Logic fan. I'm working right now with Harry Remler at Visionary, like kind of like earning my spot, like kind of like I work at CA, so I'm doing like a half internship, like working for free, trying to prove myself because I really want to be on the management side. So I've been working with Harry, and I part of the reason that I targeted Visionaries, I grew up a huge Logic fan. Obviously, like they have, you know, John Bellion, and obviously when they merged Music Friends, now they have Chelsea Cutler, who's amazing, Jeremy Zucker, who's fantastic. And I would always see Noah Preston's name on the back of the Everybody album when I bought the physical, and it said A&R. And I was like, how do I get to learn more about this guy? Like, how do I get to where he got? Like, that's like the dream. You put together so many great projects with personally what I think, especially at that time, was like a really great artist, and it's just like kind of cool. I just talked to Harry before this. I was like, hey, I'm hopping on like an A&R like, you know, conference, and Noah Preston's going to be on. He's like, oh, that's my guy. Tell him I say hi. It's going to be great for you to ask questions. So I was fingers crossed the entire time. So I just want to hear, I have so many questions for literally all of you. I respect literally everything you guys do. You guys are some of the biggest A&Rs in the entire industry. But I'd be remiss to not ask my fellow Noah here, like, what was the journey of like signing Logic, discovering Logic, and like that artist development project when it came to like working on those albums? Like, you know, this is stuff that like, you know, is rarely in interviews that you can rarely find out. So I just want to take this opportunity to ask like what your, you know, what that path and journey was like.
No, I mean, like to Tab's earlier point, like Tab was around in those early days. Like, I mean, we really signed Logic just being a fan of him on YouTube and finding him on Two Dope Boys in a whole different era back in the blog days. You know what I mean? Understanding the landscape then, you know. And nah, man, I brought him into the label with the right timing before it was too much of a bidding war, but it was still a lot that we had to fight through, man. Like, you know, he was like, you know, some people may consider him a nerd. You know, he's half black, half white. He deals with that thing. So it was a lot of trying to break through a lot of barriers and trying to get people to understand who he was, and us, you know what I mean, using the research. We used a lot of research back then to figure out who his fans were. Like, a lot of his fans were gamers. A lot of his fans were a lot of other things. So figuring out who they were and how to super serve them. I mean, to Logic specifically, like, we talk about all the, hey man, I could do shows, and I could do Logic was doing 200 cap room, you know, the show before I signed, like in when he had 20,000 followers on Twitter, nothing on Instagram, you know what I mean? So for me to see him moving decently and selling tickets, when I see some of our artists that can't sell, you know what I mean, can't fill 100-person room. So it's just, I think being able to find him in real life, go tap in with him, see the fans in real life, understand who they are, tap in, do research, figure, like, and Harry and Chris, they're geniuses in all of this too. And we were all young at the time, but we all tried to make sure we made the right steps. And honestly, it was like, from an A&R standpoint, it wasn't a whole lot of us trying to force him to make the right record. It was figuring out who his fans were and super serving them. You know what I mean? He was a hip hop artist, so it was, as an A&R, it's digging in your toolbox and figuring out what you have. At the time, you know, I had a great relationship with No ID. I mean, I still do. I say at the time like it's diminished, but you know, I knew he would be a fan. I knew he would understand. And when I sold it to him and had that tool in my toolbox, I went out and got some more tools. You know, so once I had enough that I really felt like I could build something that would be special and important, and that the label and everyone else would care about and the world would care about, I think everything started to add up. But it took us releasing the first project, and you know, it came out at a time when, at the label, I think we had Iggy Azalea and She Had Fancy. We had, at the same time, I had signed August Alsina, and he had released at the same time Love This Shit, and was going crazy. We had YG, my nigga, that was going crazy, and all these other things that were going crazy. And then, you know, you got Logic kind of just trying to figure out what he's doing. And we just made it a point to not try to make the big record, not try to figure out who his fans were, make music for them, and try to grow that. And I think, you know what I mean? I think that's something probably each of us on this panel have done in some way, shape, or form. And, you know, just trying to stay true to what the art and what the music really is. And I think that's really what guided us through a lot. It wasn't like, you know, on the flip side, like Janae, other artists I've worked with, I wouldn't say it'd been easier, but it'd been a lot more culturally dictated. You know, you can find, you're looking for moments and stuff like that. But with Logic, we really had to figure out everything. And yeah, I mean, we just try to stay honest to the fans and to the music, and listen to Logic and the things that he wanted to do. And he was already doing a lot on his own. And he was engaging with the fans. You know, we were engaging with the fans a lot really early, and we just try to keep playing on that. You know, played on the stuff that worked, and the stuff we failed on, we tried, and we threw it to that's the great thing about Chris and Harry, and you probably know from working with them. They'll try a lot of things. They're really experimental. They're paying attention to the landscape. And if we try, we fail. A lot of times we do a managing a label. The label will be real headstrong, or the manager will be real headstrong. On one side, we'll always want to win. But I think early on, we built up a pattern of, hey, y'all want to try this? Let's throw some money at that. We want to try this. Let's try it. You know what I mean? We may understand things from a more commerce perspective. They clearly understand their fans better than us. So we'd be naive to think that we understand these things better than them. So I think it's just figuring out how to work together and putting your ego to the side and figuring out what you have to make everything work. And thankful we had the tools to make it work. And you know, when the time was right, you know, we could go for radio. We didn't go for radio till the Everybody album. That was the third album. So, you know, I mean, we tried for radio early, but you know, it wasn't until the Everybody album that it really made sense. So we just try to stay honest to the art and you know, do what you can. You know, I'll let everyone else hop in. I know you got questions for everyone else.
You know, I really appreciate that, and I think that was the perfect answer. That you saw that there was like a underground bubbling fan base, and you just fed those people and built the loyalty of those people. So I think that's brilliant, and obviously now that I'm, you know, doing stuff with Harry and Chris, hopefully we will be able to pick your brain more as well. To everyone, as like a general question, not to take up too much time or anything like that. What is, if you have an artist that you genuinely believe in, and at varying stages of their career, whether they're mid or they're like a baby artist, what's the best way, assuming that you have the connections, to be like, to pitch the artist? Obviously, like, getting in front of people is important, making sure like the music is there. Assuming that's all there, what's the best way in your experience, or like what are the most effective pitches that you've gotten from your friends or other managers in the industry that really like convinced you and showed you like this is the way to do it now?
Are you mean in regards to somebody like pitching for A&R to sign, or like us pitching to like partners to get behind the artists we have?
I intended for it to be the first, but actually both work. So either or, whatever whatever comes to mind.
I mean, I'll let Derrick answer this one, and then we'll move on to the next question. But go on, Derrick.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think the first thing is, you know, first, again, like I keep saying this, a lot of it still really comes down to the music and the quality of what you're bringing to the table. So like, I've had people send me emails with just a blank thing, and I click the link, I'm like, oh shit, shit's amazing, right? I probably wouldn't lean towards that, but that does happen. Right. I would say when I have the product and I know the product is fire, you know, I'll give something really concise where I'm not trying to sell and oversell and work you on something. Because if you're trying to work me on something, then I know it's not as good, because if it's that good, you wouldn't have to work me so hard, you know? So I give me a little bit of, this is what it is, this is where it's going, this is where it came from, and then here's the music. And then that's it, you know? Like, whenever, like, you know, to the other part, like, you know, I've had times in my past where I've had a record that we've been working and we're grinding it out. And, you know, I have friends at different partners, Spotify, Apple, and I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe I need to hit one of my homies and see what the deal is. And I don't try to go, yo, this is the hottest shit ever, because if it is, then they would know that already, right? I wouldn't have to say it. But maybe sometimes you just need to, you know, hey, I don't know if you check this out. I don't know if you're well aware, but this is what I'm working on. This is what it is. This is what it is. This is what it is. Check it out. Boom. And then keep it pushing from there. And then when a person clicks it and links and listens to it and do their research, they'll know what to do with it.
Let the music speak for itself. And yeah, that's smart to like not flex too hard.
Not oversell, man. Because when you oversell,
it's like overcompensating for something.
It's like if you're selling me something, then you want me to buy something. I shouldn't want to buy something because you're telling me it. I should want to buy into something because I see it out there and I want to grab it. If someone's like, yo, you need to get this car. This car is amazing. They probably got a lemon. You know,
you just use the car now. Y'all use the food. Like, you can't tell me something tastes good. I'm gonna taste it. I'm gonna have my own opinion.
Exactly.
You gotta let it live. You can't sit here and be like, no, it's good, right?
Like, yeah. Good, nigga.
I've had better, bro. I've had better.
Exactly.
No rocks.
Thank you so much, guys. Seriously, I'm very lucky to even be in your presence. So thank you.
All right, man.
Thanks.
So it's 8:15. If everybody's cool, we can just go another 15 minutes. Everybody got time? Nobody going to the club tonight?
I might need an order on Seamless. So just if I step away, just give me 2. You know, it's closing down really fast right now.
All right, here we go. Candisha. She will be joining. Hi, Candisha.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you see me?
Nope,
No.
I can't see you.
Can't see you.
Okay. Hold on.
Last time we couldn't see somebody, we had a.
Yo, he sounded like a club promoter.
He's a promo guy for real.
Definitely.
Is your video not working?
It says camera, zoom, everything looks good there.
It's, I don't know.
Let me see, let me get some help.
Start video at the bottom.
Start my video.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
There you
here
go.
we go.
Hello.
What up?
What's up? Thank you guys for doing this.
Absolutely.
My question, I feel like it's pretty short and sweet, but I am a rapper, singer, songwriter, baby producer, Nashville / Atlanta, living in LA right now. I've really been using a lot of time to hone down, like you said, that 0 to 100. I'm really grinding and working on creating my artistry and making it as airtight as possible before I just come out with some boo-boo shit. So, but I also know that the other half of earning your stripes is putting your shit out there and seeing how people react to it. But I really just been shooting in the gym before I even get to that part. So hypothetically, if you were to find an artist, brand new everything, debut project, what's something that would catch your eye?
You mean brand new as in like never put out?
Brand new, first project. Boom.
Her life?
You said what?
Music.
Yeah, music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. But it seems like nowadays some people are split between, do you need a bunch of followers and this and that to even have anyone glance at what you got? Or what's important right now to you guys? Just music.
I think having dope music and then coming up with some sort of cool marketing to sort of make it enticing, because like you said, we getting hundreds, thousands of emails, we online, we seeing a bunch of stuff out here. So what's going to make that shiny and make me want to go and press play on that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And another thing is that 20 years ago, artist development was shooting in the gym. Now artist development is playing in the game.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
I like that, Ray. I like that.
Yeah,
we all gonna steal that.
Yeah, we steal that, Ray.
So it's like, you know.
I already tweeted it, Ray.
It's all good. It's all good. Well, you know, when artists always say, you know, like, I'm just getting my shit together. Well, while you getting your shit together, somebody that don't got their shit together wasn't afraid to put their art out and let it be judged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Put your shit out.
That is real.
Yeah.
Put it out.
Exactly.
Learn from it.
I just don't want to be that artist, like you said, at 3, and then you put them on the stage, you can't do nothing.
Man, can I tell y'all something? I don't mean to put a story out there because Tab is your story, but Frank Ocean was signed to Def Jam, changed his name to Frank Ocean. Def Jam didn't even know. He just put the music out. Nobody knew he was already, Def Jam was looking to sign Frank Ocean, didn't know they already had him signed.
Oh,
bro.
No, that's sad.
That's one of the greatest stories of all time. That's actually
what I'm saying. That story is so important is because you can make up a new Instagram and a new Spotify profile every day and become someone new until the shit works.
Yeah,
that's so real.
Fact.
Gabby Wilson is that prime example.
Oh yeah, Gabby, yeah.
Yes.
Gabby has been talented since she was freaking 6, but it took her to change her name, cover her face, put on glasses, which really didn't take that. We knew what she was, but for the world to accept it at that time. But at the same time, you also realize timing is everything. If you coming with the same shit that everybody else is doing, then you need to step your game up and be better than what they're doing, or figure out your own lane. Because it's only going to be so many of one type of artist. If one more person come to me and be like, yo, I'm the next Chris Brown. You want me to judge you based on what Chris Brown do? Because if you do, then
already lost.
You already lost.
Lost. It's over.
Because an artist has 2 voices: the one that they sing with or rap with, and the one that they represent when they sing and they rap.
Mm-hmm.
Right? gotta find your voice. You gotta go out there and talk your shit and do your shit, and then let the and it's something that Noah has said that I live by. Super serve your audience. Find 10 people that fuck with you. Let those 10 go tell 10 people, and then stop being afraid to start with 10 people, bro. Everybody wants to be Beyonce. Everybody wants to be Beyonce. Everybody wants to be Chris. Everybody wants to be so big, so quick. Start with those 10 people. That's how you win. I'm so tired of artists that are just like, I'm the shit. Well, go find 10 people that believe that. Let's start with those 10.
With you. Exactly.
Outside of your family.
I definitely believe in that.
Outside of your family.
Loving music enough.
Outside of people that know you and everybody else. Go find that.
Yeah, that's how I believe that too. My thing is just, it needs to be good enough to where I wholeheartedly believe in it.
Guess what?
If I don't love it, I'm not going to be able to sell it.
Candisha, you already lost.
I lost.
I'm gonna say you overthinking it. You overthinking it.
Listen, it's like then stop overthinking and let's get somebody in here who don't want to overthink and want to win. Because we're not gonna push you. Listen, we're not gonna push you over the ledge. You gotta fucking jump.
Yeah, why you thinking about it? 8 other artists that they're gonna put it out, and we
not here to push you. We here to tell you jump. If you believe you can fly, jump. If you don't believe, get out the way and let somebody else jump that can believe they can fly. Because everybody on this fucking panel believe they can fly at one point. That's why we here.
Yeah. I like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Candisha.
I love that. Thank you guys so much.
Have a good one.
Good.
Y'all too. Bye-bye.
Pastor Ray.
Couple more.
You saw that, Derrick?
Pastor Ray. I saw that. Pastor Ray.
Every artist be coming to us like we have the answers. We don't listen. All we can do is tell you the same shit. The answers are out there, bro.
Grab them.
Go out there.
Benny B. Benny B, get ready, baby. Benny B.
Benny B. Where Benny B at?
Benny B might got that.
I'm telling you right now, I'm still afraid of. We all should have got that guy's name, man. That
he said,
girl named all of a sudden said, "Listen here, bro."
Benny B, you're up. What's good?
What's good? Definitely appreciate y'all for taking the time out. I want to talk about artist development.
Yep.
So pretty much what I'm getting from this conversation is that artist development is dead as far as from you guys. From you guys.
No.
Listen,
okay.
Said it's different.
It's different. It's different. So I work for an artist development company, and we got distro with Orchard and also Empire, right? A lot of the artists that we come across, they basically tell us like, listen, like, oh, we're not trying to pay, we're not trying to invest in our career. We want you guys to take a cut. And I'm like, okay, I check out their music and it's like, what am I taking the cut of? Like, what am I putting on the back burner? What am I investing my time, money, and my own effort in? Like, what's the long game type? And half of them, their music is, but that's another story. So my question to you guys is, how do you guys feel like artists do you guys even feel like it's a good idea for artists to invest in their own careers as in invest money up front so they can get a team around them to help take them to that 40% level that y'all said is the key level, so y'all could step in and then put y'all resources, time, and money behind it and take it to the next level?
That's a trick question, bro.
Okay, can I say something? Like at the end of the day, I think something that Ray said that was very important. Everybody feels like, everybody looks at this thing. This is like there's a general answer of how to get on, right? You invest in money, you don't invest in money. You have the digital game. You don't have to do whatever it takes to get it on. Do whatever it takes. So if you don't have nobody around you that wants to put money into, and you feel like, damn, I need I gotta buy me some equipment. I gotta do that. Then buy yourself some equipment. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like, damn, you know what? I don't know the digital game and I don't know nobody around me that knows the digital game, go on YouTube and learn the digital game. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the conversation is as simple as like, is it wise to hold money or spend money? Because you can spend your whole life holding money and say, oh, somebody got to invest in me, right? and then nobody comes and invests in you. You know what I'm saying?
But then there's another thing to it though. It's another thing to it though. Like you can't say you gonna charge me to develop something if you ain't developed it yet. It's trickery to it. It's like, let me develop you. It's gonna cost you $500 to get in my program, but you ain't. If Matthew Knowles can do that,
yep.
Tina Davis can do that, but somebody who just, you know, so that's why it's tricky for me. Like I always say this as an artist, I believe this: an artist that's up and coming shouldn't ever have to pay someone to help them with their career. In my opinion.
I agree.
I mean, now if you want to, hold on. Now, if you want to pay a vocal coach, that's different. Yeah. But you also are saying that y'all got a distro company and y'all got a distro. So y'all are not just developing, y'all putting music out too. That's kind of tricky for me. That's kind. If I'm being honest with you, that's kind of a dirty business to me that I would kind of like. I don't really fuck with that. Like, cause all of us people on this phone are like real talk. We can charge for this information, but we're not. This is artist development 101 what we're doing, but we're not charging. Feel me? So it's kind of like, I can say I could develop you because I've taken somebody and made them a millionaire. Tina has too. Everybody on here has taken somebody that was broke and made them rich.
Yeah.
We can say we could develop somebody. So when you just saying I could develop you because I've seen the stuff, to me, that's where it gets kind of tricky. And that's the business that I don't like to participate in, because that's the business that I feel like, to me, that's like, I don't really like that business. Okay. I don't like that business. If you're a dance company, teach people how to dance, that's different. Teach people how to sing, that's different. Artist development, who the fuck have you developed now? Who's on the front of who do we see on the front page that we can say, who came out of this? Who's our example?
If you're talking about the company that I worked with, a bunch of people. And the name of the company is called Wealth Nation. So you guys can do your research on the company. And we actually, our CEO actually had a label meeting with Success about a year ago, got a producer signed over there and all of that. So the end goal is definitely there as far as developing people, artists, and then also finishing the actual job off and getting them signed. If they can, you know, obviously if you guys fuck with them and if you guys fuck with the situation.
If they can afford to pay your fee.
And if it's not my fee, it's the company that I work for. I ain't set the rules.
That's what I'm saying though. So, but are y'all taking money if they get a deal? Are y'all taking a piece of the deal if they get a deal?
If they do get a deal? That's another question. That's another question I can't answer right now.
Yeah, there you go. on that note, Benny, thanks for your question, brother.
Definitely appreciate it.
All right, have a good one. All right, we're gonna take two more.
I just hate to see people get taken advantage of, man. Like it's like, come on, man.
Yeah. Honestly, all this information's out in the world, and I'm looking at this website right now. I mean, it do look a little funny, man. It's like the panels, like we all invited the panels where, hey, like they get a bunch of money at a bunch of kids to showcase in front of you, or a bunch of money at a bunch of students just to. But I mean, they taking $2,500 from kids.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. If you just not, if once they get signed, you're like, all the money is yours. But you can't pay them to get them in front of you and then give me a piece. And then come on, man. Like you hustling at that point. You the fucked up people that make people say, I done tried 5-6 years and I done lost all my money. You ain't, listen, bro. This distribution costs $30 on TuneCore. Studio is nothing a bit. Put a fucking song out and figure out, grow yourself. It's easy.
All right, Chase Freeman.
Hey, Chase.
Chase, the last one. It's 8:30. Chase, you gotta be special.
Chase, you're up.
Can you hear me?
What's up, Chase?
All right, bet, cool. Hold on. Let me turn on my video. Can you see me now?
There you go. Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. How you guys doing?
Great. Good, bro.
I'm good. One thing I said, Ray, I freaking love your energy, how honest you are. I freaking love that. I just want to put that out there. For real. What your name? What is your name? I can't see the names now. This is messing me up. Noah, when you said about with Logic, where you said that he was trying to figure himself out and stuff like that. I think that's what you say.
Well, I would say we were trying to tap in. We were trying to figure out who his fans were, where they lived, and I think he was trying to figure out the best way to express himself. And you know what I mean. And there was a lot of, I would say, roadblocks in our way. You know, a lot of judgment that he had to battle through. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah.
My thing is, so I know you explained how when you found him and like that. So my thing is, I know he had the right people in place, but what was the thing that actually got him to go? Was it just the core fan base, having a solid fan base, or was it obviously promotion and stuff pays in doing shows, but like,
honestly,
yeah.
If I can be honest, if I'm speaking specific to Logic, it was his ability to put out. He put out music at like a prolific rate back then. Like he was putting out mixtapes. If you're a real fan, he was putting out the Young Sinatra mixtapes. He never, up until about a year ago, he was putting out about 2 albums a year. You know what I mean? So he was always putting out music and always on tour. Whenever he had an opportunity to go on tour, he was always on the road, always doing shows, always doing festivals. There was never a break. It was hard for me to figure out studio time, you know, for the first 2 or 3 years, because he was always moving around. I honestly think that's what kept us afloat. That's what kept us. The fan that found out about us yesterday is being reminded about us tomorrow, and we're back in the city next month. And you couldn't forget about Logic if you were tuned in for the first 2 or 3 years. And I think that's really what helped us more than anything. And I think being tapped in early and seeing that, you know, like we had his fans were really diehard. Like you can't do that with every fan base, right? Every fan base isn't going to be here for 2 albums and like all this D2C stuff but like his fans were so locked in. It's like they was buying 4 albums. So we're like, damn, if these fans are buying 4 versions of the same album, we'd be stupid not to come out with another album or another piece or another this or another that, or put yourself in front of them again. So we just really tried to do as much, because we knew we didn't have, not we knew we didn't, clearly if it came naturally, we was going to go the radio route, but we knew we didn't necessarily have that bullet in the chamber, but we knew the bullets we did have. We had hip-hop fans, we had, you know what I mean, Middle America, we had a lot of things we could take advantage of. So we just made sure we took advantage of what we could. And that's the best way I could. It wasn't a song, it wasn't a thing. You know, Logic didn't really break in a lot of people's eyes to 1-800. And it was a lot of work before that. And I would argue that no one he was a new artist at that point. It was just the record that kind of got him over the hump. But yeah, it was a combination of things. But it was just like I mean, what we were saying earlier, it was just figuring out his core and super serving that.
Word. And I really would like to say, I don't want to take too much time, because I know it's one more person, but I would definitely like to say I appreciate everybody doing this, because it helped confirm me that I'm doing what I need to do, you know what I mean, by saying certain things. So I really appreciate that for real, because I'm I'm New Haven, Connecticut, and like, you don't really hear nobody from Connecticut really doing anything, you know what I mean, besides like Alan Ritter and stuff like that, John Mayer and stuff, but besides that, you don't really hear a lot, or even Kenny Beats. So it was a point where like I was making a lot of music, a lot of people liked it, but I guess compared to what most people make here, they make a generic sound. So my stuff is considered weird to people. So it was a point where I just was stuck in, this could go for like any other artist in here. I don't know if I'm helping somebody what I'm saying, but I noticed that when you sit and focus only on making music for your state, you lose out. And if you got, and cause it's like a whole world out there. So I changed my mindset with making music where I'm making music for the world instead of just one section, you know what I mean? And I feel like from just talking to friends and stuff like that, most artists think that, yeah, they're basically making music for their own area. And it's like, nah, bro. And I feel like that's when most of them come up with, like, creatively, they can't think of nothing because they thinking strictly that. I don't know if I'm off or on, but
I don't think there's no blueprint. Like there's some people that do really great dominating their city, and I think that's worth its own. You know what I mean? But there's some people that can do a lot better just making general songs for the internet or for, you know what I mean, for a mood or for, you know. But to be honest, there's no right or wrong. You know what I mean? There's routes in both playbooks. So yeah, I mean. And I'm glad you didn't hit the wall in your community and then stop fighting. You hit a wall and pivoted. And that's what you should have done. You know what I mean? So you did the right thing. So have confidence in yourself. But just as a message for everyone, if you could dominate your city, because you could get shows in your city, you can make money in your city, you can do all kinds. So it's and if you out in the world, you want to get that back home. You don't want to be, you know. So it's just figuring out the balance, you know.
I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, Chase. It's Chase, right?
Yeah, Chase. Yeah, I would love to send you guys music. Is it is your contact or you guys' contacts is in the post?
Yeah, we'll put some in the chat. Well, I will.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I didn't know, because somebody I work with, I don't know if you guys know him. He's from RCA, Max Gale. I don't know if you guys know him.
Oh yeah, Max, my boy.
Yeah, Max. Yeah, he sent me the live, because he don't manage me, but it's like he mentors me, he guides me. Put it like that. He just guides me. So he's
got to get Max messed up out in the streets.
My bad. I know, my bad.
Bro, Max is good people, man.
All right, Chase. Have a good evening, brother.
All right, have a good one.
All right, cool.
All
right. Well, there we go. We went 6 minutes over. Appreciate everybody checking in. We still have a lot of people that looking to get questions answered, which means we'll have to do this again. I want to thank everybody, Derrick, Success, Tina, Ray, Tab, and Noah. It's a lot of great information.
It was an honor to be here with Tina Davis, y'all.
Listen,
it was an honor to be
here with y'all, man.
I had to beg Tina.
I love Tina Davis. That's my fucking baby right there.
I love you too, Ray.
All right.
That's my baby. Let's get it.
One thing before we get out of here, tomorrow, Babyface or Teddy Riley?
It's Sunday.
Sunday. No, it's tomorrow. They changed it tomorrow.
Man.
That's hard.
Teddy Riley.
Riley.
Now, let me tell you something. Hold on.
All right, let's go around real quick. 30 seconds. Derrick, go.
I'll tell you about Babyface. Teddy Riley, I think, is obviously very, very innovative, changed the game. But I would say this: Teddy Riley got from late 80s to mid 90s. Babyface is from mid 80s to fucking early 2000s, man.
Success.
Babyface, hands down. Not hands down, it's not a layup, but yeah.
Yeah, not a layup. Yeah. Not a layup.
Not a
layup, but he got it.
Let's see what Tab say. Let's go. Keep going.
Tab, go.
Man. Teddy Riley. I promise you, Teddy Riley gonna win this.
I'm with you,
I mean, because Teddy got hip hop, Teddy got gospel, Teddy created a genre of music, y'all. This is Teddy easy, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all, watch.
Ooh,
Teddy got
easy.
Easy.
You said
Teddy
easy.
got
Noah.
Tina, who you say?
You know
Oh,
what?
no, go Noah.
I'm
Oh,
Teddy.
yeah,
I'm
no,
Tab. I'm a Teddy. Yeah.
Tina goes last, Ray.
Okay, I'm going to go.
She gets the last word, Ray.
I'm going to go. Teddy Riley, easy.
Easy.
I would much rather, listen, let me say something real quick. I would much rather have Babyface's catalog.
Yes.
Babyface's catalog is 10 times better. But when you talking about 20 records back to back to back, when Teddy goes from The Show to Rump Shaker to Backstreet, to
Michael Jackson, to Remember Time,
Michael Jackson, to everything he's done, Babyface records lay there. They make you feel good. Teddy records make you jump up and want to party. That's why it's easy.
Teddy.
Babyface only got a couple of those that's gonna make you want to jump up. He got a couple, but Teddy 8 or 9 that's gonna make you jump up. But I'd rather be Babyface though. Let's be clear. I'd rather be Babyface. But we just talking about a battle. Teddy Riley
we talk about the battle.
Yeah, Miss Tina Davis gets the last word on it.
I have to agree, unfortunately, because I hate saying one or the other because I love them both. But if you think about who is actually on Instagram, who's actually watching, and the people who are going to be on there the whole time, based on that, and it's only being 20 songs, if we were saying the top 50 songs, Babyface might get it, only because it's so many and it's so vast. But when you start doing similar to the Scott Storch, and not to say it's the same, but I'm just saying it's so many different types of hits coming from, and like you said, once he drops Mike and he started doing all these records, Rump Shaker and all that, you're gonna be in trouble. Like the hype, but again,
He gonna be wobbling. He gonna be wobbling. Like he ain't gonna know what to do. Like he can't hit him. But can we talk once or twice?
Yo, let me tell you, Babyface has hit after hit after hit, and it's gonna hit you, but it's hard. Honestly, I hate to even have to decide. To be honest with you, because I
will tell you this:
30 songs.
It can't get no better than tomorrow. It can't get no better than tomorrow.
Man,
it's like you can't. Only thing that get better is like Mustard, Mike Will.
Not Ye and Neptune. Not Ye and Neptune.
After this,
after this,
it doesn't get any better than this. Like this is like the bar has to stay at.
This is top tier. I wish it was. Well, I don't know. I was about to say Babyface and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
That
would be better.
No, that would be better. L.A. Reid and Babyface versus Jimmy Jam.
For Jam
would be better.
Right.
Oh, that would be better. You add in LaFace.
Yeah.
Somebody get Swiss and Tim on the phone.
I think the winner should go up against Jam and Lewis.
That's real.
Yeah, that's real.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yo, I have a question.
Can you stand the rain? It's over.
I have a question. Do you think anybody would be able to compete against Quincy Jones if he decided to jump into one of these motherfuckers?
For real?
No. Come on.
I'm gonna say this.
20.
That's blasphemy.
20 for 20. That's 20 records.
Listen,
20.
I'm gonna say something controversial. I'm gonna say something controversial. R. Kelly
or Kanye.
R. Kelly. Say what you want about him. R. Kelly could compete. Yes.
I tell you why R. Kelly could compete with him, because he only gonna be able to play 4 or 5 songs that he didn't write. He didn't sing himself.
That's real.
Now I'm gonna tell you who could get Quincy Jones. I'm gonna hang up after this because y'all gonna get pissed and I don't give a fuck.
Who?
Kanye West.
Bye, Ray.
Kanye's the GOAT.
You could at least say Dr. Dre.
At least say Dr. Dre.
Kanye's the greatest to ever do it. Kanye is the greatest creative to ever live.
Kanye is extremely creative. I won't say
he's the greatest creative to ever live.
Yeah, don't got
nigga. So
Ray, just when I thought I knew you.
Shoes and clothes. Nobody's better than him, Tab.
Hey, shout out to Kanye for giving me my first job in the music business. Thanks for everybody.
Look, he gave us Eddie. He gave us this panel essentially, nigga. What are you talking about, Tab?
You know what's funny? You don't even drink, so I can't blame it on alcohol.
No, he in that case, he also gave us Big Suge that's gonna be knocking at our doors.
I'm hanging up. Bye, everybody.
Hey, thank you for coming out. Appreciate it.
I enjoyed this, man. I do this anytime, man. I enjoyed this. Shout out to the
culture creators. Joy Brown, thank you for my thing,
Love
Empire.
You, Where mine, Joy?
I do this. And listen, can we just say something before we hang up? We would do this shit at a restaurant any day, by the way.
Facts.
This ain't a restaurant. We would shut a restaurant down, arguing, talking shit all day. It would just be a lot more explicit, and we would be saying a lot more disrespectful shit.
A lot more
and Empire would
a lot more. We would be dropping names, disrespecting some shit right now.
Yeah, it'd be a lot more shit. Thank you for everybody. Thank you for everyone who jumped in, bro.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Love y'all.
All right.
Bye.